Men are struggling quietly. Suicide rates are higher for men, addiction rates are higher for men, loneliness is skyrocketing, and sexual dysfunction, stress, and relationship burnout are becoming the new normal. But when men do reach out for help, they often get told, talk about your feelings, or worse, man up. Both of those messages miss the point. We don't need men to talk more. We need to create environments where men want to talk. Welcome to MisterHealth, Mind, Body, and the Bedroom, the podcast where we cut through the silence and get real about men's health. I'm Dr. Mike, certified sex therapist and men's mental health expert. Around here, we're not sugarcoating the tough stuff. From performance anxiety to porn use to stress, depression, and intimacy, this is the place for honest conversations, practical tools, and strategies that actually work. If you ever thought, why am I the only guy dealing with this? You're not. You're in the right place. Let's dive in. Welcome back to MisterHealth Podcast, Mind, Body, and the Bedroom. I'm Dr. Mike, certified sex therapist, licensed mental health counselor, and the founder of MisterHealth Counseling. It is a new branch to the MisterHealth brand that I've been building over the last year, and I'm really excited to share a little bit about it today. It is a space built exclusively for men and couples who want more out of their lives, their relationships, and themselves. Today, I want to have a real conversation, not a polished, scripted version of mental health awareness, but an honest, uncomfortable truth about why therapy really hasn't worked for men. And I'm going to tell you a story, my story, about what it's like to be the only man in a graduate program of counseling, sitting in a sea of future therapists, none of whom looked like me, thought like me, understood what it meant to be a man, in a room full of emotional expectations that just didn't fit in. So if you've ever felt like therapy wasn't built for you, like you couldn't find a therapist who got it, this episode is for you. So let me take you back. It's 2008. I'm sitting in my graduate class. There's 25 students, 24 of them are women, and there's me. We're talking about empathy, emotional expression, trauma, childhood attachment, all incredibly important topics. But the way they were being discussed, it was from a lens that just didn't reflect on my experience and how men experience the world. I remember one day we were talking about emotional avoidance, how men shut down, they don't talk about their feelings, they just disconnect. And someone said, it's because men are emotionally immature. And I remember sitting there thinking, no, it's not immaturity, it's survival. Most men don't grow up being told emotional expression is safe. We're told to toughen up, to fix it, to be strong for others. We don't get rewarded for vulnerability, and we get punished for it, actually. So there I was, the only guy in the room trying to explain that men feel deeply. We just express it differently. We carry our pain in silence, in our work, in our sex lives, in our bodies. And I remember the professor pausing, tilting her head and saying something like, that's an interesting male perspective. And I thought, no, it's not just a male perspective. This is half of the population's reality. That's when it hit me. Therapy as a field wasn't built for men. It was built around men, often by people who don't fully understand the male experience. Now, don't get me wrong. Therapy saves lives. But for men, the way it's traditionally been structured, it can feel like a foreign language. We tell men to open up, but we never teach them how. We ask them, how does that make you feel? But never show them what the hell that actually means. We sit in rooms decorated with pastel pillows, floral tissues, and candles, and wonder why men don't feel comfortable there. Here's what I saw again and again in my clinical work. Men walk into therapy because something's breaking. Their marriage, their sex life, their career, their confidence. And they sit in a chair for 50 minutes talking about their childhood for 6 months before something changes. They want practical tools. They want someone who gets it. Someone who can talk about performance anxiety, erectile dysfunction, porn use, emotional disconnection without judgment or awkwardness. And honestly, most therapists aren't trained for that. It's not because they don't care. It's because their graduate programs don't teach it. When I was in school, nobody talked about male sexual shame. Nobody taught us how men think about their bodies, talk about their bodies, or issues to perform sexually, financially. Nobody talked about what it's like to be emotionally isolated as a husband, a father, or even a leader. Men have unique challenges and also unique strengths, but the therapy world needs to treat masculinity as a problem to be fixed instead of a potential to be understood. That's exactly why I created MisterHealth Counseling. I wanted to build something for men, not against them. I wanted a place where therapy didn't feel like you're walking into someone else's world, but where you could finally feel at home. Picture this. You walk into a cigar lounge, dark wood, leather chairs, whiskey tones, a space that doesn't scream self-help. It's masculine, it's grounded, it's calm. That's what MisterHealth is. Therapy that feels right for men. We talk about stress, sex, intimacy, purpose, all things that men are silently carrying but don't know where to start. We don't use therapy jargon, we speak your language. Our team understands that men don't need to be fixed, they just need to be understood. And that changes everything. So here's the truth. Men are struggling quietly. Suicide rates are higher for men, addiction rates are higher for men, loneliness is skyrocketing, and sexual dysfunction, stress, and relationship burnout are becoming the new normal. But when men do reach out for help, they often get told, talk about your feelings, or worse, man up. Both of those messages miss the point. We don't need men to talk more. We need to create environments where men want to talk. We don't need to strip men of their strength. We need to redefine what strength actually looks like. At MisterHealth, we're not anti-traditional therapy. We are evolving it. We are bringing in mindfulness, somatic awareness, sex therapy, coaching, and real-world strategies that meet men where they're at. In the gym, in the office, in the bedroom, the boardroom, wherever you are. This is what modern therapy looks like. When I think back to that classroom, the only guy in the room, I realized that moment was the seed for everything that I've built since. I didn't belong there, but I stayed there. I stayed there because men needed someone in that room. And I've made it my mission to make sure men have a seat at the table when we talk about mental health, when we talk about relationships and sexuality. Every man deserves a space where he could drop the mask, take a breath, and say, I'm not okay, but I want to be. That's what MisterHealth Counseling is all about. It's not therapy for broken men. It's therapy for men who want more. And if you're listening to this right now and it hits home, I want you to know that you're not alone. You don't have to suffer in silence, figure it out all on your own, or pretend everything's fine. For the guy that wants to perform better in the bedroom, manage his stress, repair his marriage, or feel like himself again, we've got therapists who understand men. We've got programs, courses, coaching designed to help you grow without the guilt and shame and without the bullshit. You can learn more about MisterHealth Counseling by going to MisterHealth.com and clicking on mental health counseling. We are virtual only in the state of Massachusetts, and we take most major insurances. So check out our website, shoot us an email, give us a call, and let's start the process for you. You've been listening to Mr. Health, Mind, Body, in the Bedroom. If today's episode hit home, make sure you subscribe so you never miss an honest conversation about men's health. Share this with a friend who needs it, because the chances are he's struggling in silence. And if you're ready to go deeper, head over to MisterHealth.com for courses, tools, and resources to help you build confidence in your mind, your body, and your bedroom. I'm Dr. Mike, reminding you, you're not broken, you're not alone, you're just ready for the truth.